This is actually going to be my very first reaction to the trailer for the 2024 version of The Crow, starring Bill Skarsgård, I believe, and I think it's FKA Twigs and Danny Huston. This film, I've heard many remarks about it, lots of people bashing on this reboot, lots of people kind of mentioning, oh my god, you know, it's not going to be the same as the OG version of The Crow, right? So for those who are completely unaware of what the backstory is behind The Crow, or if you've seen the film but you're not really sure about what the story is about, really The Crow is a story based on a personal story by the writer or the author himself, James O'Barr, who kind of pretty much faced a traumatic experience, a tragedy, many years ago, where he lost the love of his life, in this case his fiancée, due to a drunk driver. And so this graphic novel, which I have here, this is the special edition version of it, is a place, or was a coping mechanism for the author himself to kind of express his pain, his agony, and the rage that he had within himself. And just kind of speaking on my personal experiences and interpretations of this graphic novel, it is one heck of a beautiful work of art. And it speaks on many different volumes, many different realms and spectrums. You can truly feel the amount of pain that the author himself felt. It is indeed very explicit in terms of the content. It's very much, very dark in that area too, but it really kind of just, I would say, sheds light onto how the author himself kind of utilizes a character as, you know, to depict his own personal experiences, and just how much poetry gets involved in here, and very much Edgar Allan Poe, you know, kind of a theme that we got going on here. I really suggest and recommend that for those who, you know, have seen the film but you've not read the graphic novel. Definitely get yourself a copy if you can. And I think that the original 1994 version of the film really kind of tried to depict everything from this onto the visual medium itself, which was through the film, right? And you know, it's kind of interesting that they really did try to make Brandon Lee's character look like Eric Draven here, and I really liked how they did that, because it really meant that Brandon was very much attached and immersed into that character. He really did bring it so much life into it, and he's just such an iconic actor, iconic martial artist and figure and character. And obviously, like, it's so memorable. You know, it kind of reminds me, and I'm having more flashbacks of the original film, right? And there's a scene, a very memorable scene, where Eric kind of walks into Top Dollar's place, right, at headquarters, and he's just walking straight ahead, and he's just like, "Gentlemen," and then everyone's just like, "Oh my god, you know, here, this is the guy who's taking revenge on all of us," and he just casually I think it was like an improv move or something. He just spontaneously walks up and just hops onto the table.
"Gentlemen!"
And it's just super cool, and it's just like, oh my god, like, it's such a, you can feel the playfulness that Brandon really puts into the character, right? Being a fictional fantasy world, and it was, you know, it was really gothic and grungy for its time, right? And I think that's kind of when it really immersed viewers into its universe through the music, through the soundtrack. Another really beautiful scene that I love, he's kind of on the rooftop. There's a scene in the film, and he's kind of shredding on his electric guitar, and he just kind of smashes it into pieces, right? He's on the rooftop playing this solo part, and then it's just so breathtakingly beautiful. But without further ado, let's take a look at this trailer, shall we?
What's the first thing you liked about me?
I thought that you were quite brilliant and broken.
You feel like my person.
You feel like my person.
What's the worst thing you've ever done?
I saw things. I shouldn't have seen any of it.
Oh, this is definitely different than the original version. Mine's beautiful.
When someone dies, a crow carries their soul to the land of the dead.
Okay, right off the bat, guys, I know I just kind of took a pause on this trailer, but is it just me or does it feel John Wicky? I don't know why, but just the way how, you know, the cinematography, the aesthetics, the colors, and, you know, everything, the feeling really just feels John Wicky inspired. This is only a 2-minute and 59-second trailer. I know it's a bit too early to say, but let's just keep on watching, shall we? That will be a lot of crows, though.
Sometimes something so bad happens,
Ooh, a dramatic.
and the soul cannot rest.
Oh, he's
Until you
awakening.
put the wrong things right.
Oh, hold up. A few seconds back. Let's go back. Is that a Shaw Brothers poster I see? First and foremost, the inner Shaw Brothers fanatic is just kind of, you know, kind of caught me off guard from this trailer. Hold up, I gotta search this up. This is wild. It kind of looks like Li Ching and Lo Lei to me. Like from that angle, it looks like, is that Lo Lei? Oh, I found it, guys. I found it. The film poster is the Shaw Brothers film called Heroes of Sun. Wow. And here I am spawning a Shaw Brothers poster right in the middle. I had to. Wow, what a bonus. But yeah, wow, I'm surprised that there's, you know, the fact that I caught that was just kind of, anyways. Let us continue. Oh. I'll be taking acid.
You were given the power of a god. But you're running out of time to save her.
Oh my god. He literally just blew that guy's head off, like... Anyways, continuing.
I'm gonna kill them. Every single one of them.
I am vengeance.
And killed you? Yeah, we did.
We have a problem. He came for us.
Oh, he's putting on the makeup. Ooh, fashion though.
Where's the best?
Sorry.
Anger.
It's a lot of bullets.
It's not anger. It's love.
Look at what you've become. You know that love promises only pain. You have no idea what hell awaits you. No, I do.
What?
How many people have you loved?
I'll never be alone.
Wow. Wowie. That was quite interesting to me. And being somebody who is a big fan of the original Crow film, 1994, Brandon Lee, again, I'm just gonna speak from the bottom of my very heart and the bottom of my soul. First off, I think coming from a cinematic lens, I think these guys have tried their best. You know, I've gotta put credit to them that they really tried to bring life to this film once again, despite having probably Hollywood contemplating on whether or not they should do this remake or reboot of this film. They definitely changed a lot of aspects of it. I'm kind of, you know, the fact that Bill Skarsgård's character as Eric Draven doesn't have, you know, shoulder length hair, and he obviously doesn't look exactly like how Brandon Lee portrayed Eric Draven in the film. But I definitely do have to say that they've kind of played a little bit of the creativity. There's a lot of martial arts and gun fu at play in this version of The Crow. I honestly felt like I literally saw the entire film just by seeing this trailer, this 2 minutes and 59 seconds of this film trailer. It kind of already gives me a sense as a viewer of what to already expect. Again, it's hard for me to kind of feel that this is so heavily influenced with the John Wick series, and it's just got I mean, we can definitely, at least for me personally, I can definitely tell they tried to revamp a couple of things and add in, you know, certain elements of Bill's character here and there as Eric Draven, and of course, there's a lot of heavy influence on martial arts, as you can probably tell, and how capable he is as the main anti-hero, or the main character in this film, and how he's able to kind of take vengeance in his hands and kind of do everything on his own and really just kick ass. I'm gonna be truly honest with you guys. I feel like it's hard for me to kind of detach myself from seeing Brandon's character as Eric Draven, like as it always has been. It kind of felt like a personal story, or a personal message about the eternal self in a way. It's kind of like anybody who has seen Brandon's version of The Crow, and the depiction of how the characters look, and the depiction of how the narrative has weight. It was so playful, so witty, and it was just so immersive in a way, right? And I think it's gonna, at least for me, being a cinema fan and being somebody who is a huge fan of the film, to kind of take time to accept and really appreciate how much that they've tried to kind of put in Bill Skarsgård as Eric Draven. It'll take time, I think, for me to kind of accept that. Sometimes I wonder, it's kind of like, well, here you have the original version, you have the classic version, right? Something that often we as cinephiles or cinema fans, or just fans of a specific film, kind of attach ourselves to, because it kind of brings us back to a time period that was so memorable, right? And it's kind of like, well, is this remake or is this reboot going to do any good for us as viewers? To kind of, are you trying to shed light into a certain area, a gray area of the original film or film series that maybe it did not, you know, get a chance or an opportunity to shed light to many people at the time? Or, you know, is this remake or reboot meant to kind of deliver a different messaging in some sort of way? And by all means, there's nothing wrong with doing remakes or reboots. I just feel like, you know, that's something, this kind of a thing is more of something to be, you know, it's questionable, right? And with this new remake and or this new alternative version of The Crow, I'm gonna put it that way, I think it's gonna take time for us to adjust to how the storyline is being kind of projected onto us. Everyone has a different perception, a different assumption and projection of how a medium or a film is supposed to be seen. So I think that's all based on personal experiences and reactions, right? And I just think that, you know what, it'll have to be until the summertime, once the film gets released, that we'll get the full piece and spectrum of how Eric Draven is through the lens and the eyes of a portrayal of Bill Skarsgård as an actor, of